Juvenile in custody after at least 5 killed in a shooting in North Carolina.
Police in Raleigh, North Carolina have arrested a juvenile suspect in a brazen series of killings there. 5 people were shot to death yesterday, including an off-duty police officer along a public path in a residential area. Police swarmed the neighborhood searching for the shooter. Elise Preston is outside a hospital in Raleigh where at least one of the victims is in critical condition at this hour. Elise, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Gail. Police have not released any more information about the person hospitalized here or those 4 other victims killed. They say the suspected shooter is an underage white male. His alleged crimes, in the words of the state's governor, terrorized this usually quiet area for hours.
Raleigh police raced through these residential streets around sunset Thursday, responding to reports of an active shooter. Cell phone video appears to show law enforcement searching the area for the suspect. 5 people were shot and killed, including an off-duty police officer.
We have an officer down. We have an officer down.
I've never seen so many cops. I'm shaking and terrified to go home and sleep tonight.
Then some 4 hours after the first reports of gunfire, police confirmed the juvenile had been taken into custody. The suspect had been contained at a residence.
There's no active, ongoing threat in the community at this time.
Among the 2 injured, a Raleigh police K-9 officer who was released from the hospital Thursday night. And it's not just in Raleigh. Across the nation, 7 officers have been wounded and 5 killed by gunfire so far this week. This year, 55 law enforcement officers have been killed.
They moved quickly away from this being yet another mass shooting with an easily accessible weapon. A cop got shot. Let's talk about how scary it is to be a cop.
Killed, compared to 62 in all of last year. Among those killed this week, Connecticut officers Dustin DeMonte and Alex Hamzy. They were apparently ambushed Wednesday after a false 911 call. A 3rd officer, Alec Urato, was injured, but was released from the hospital to applause Thursday morning. Back in Raleigh, a call for change.
We must stop this mindless violence in America.
That's a weird, I did not assume the direction to go there. Update, sources have confirmed for the N&O that the suspect in Thursday's mass shooting is a 15-year-old, I'm not going to say their name, a sophomore at Knightdale High School and the brother of 16-year-old shooting victim. I'm not going to say their name either. Here's what we know. Sources have confirmed that the suspect is a 15-year-old and a sophomore at Knightdale High School and the brother of one of the victims. Brother was 16 years old. The person is hospitalized in critical condition at Wake Med. The suspect is, where he was taken after being captured by the police Thursday night. Neighbors said he lived with his father, a handyman in the neighborhood, and would help on odd jobs. Several described unusual behavior from the son. I used to see him at 4:30, 5 in the morning with a book bag on, said a neighbor. Buses don't run till 7 in the morning. Burris Thompson, who's unrelated to the victim with the same last name, said he normally works out in his garage, but something kept him from the habit Thursday night. I could have been a victim myself, he said. He was hospitalized after his capture. The suspect was hospitalized after his capture late Thursday. The nature of his injuries have not been released yet. A long standoff unfolded Thursday evening, Police Chief Estella Patterson said. The police, the police as of now have yet to discuss the motive or circumstances of the shooting. They've declined, but promised to share more details in 5 days. In North Carolina, police prepare 5-day reports outlining what transpired during a significant crime incident, usually when a police officer shoots someone. It's not clear yet whether the suspect knew any of the victims other than his brother. Police have also declined to say. Patterson said the gunman shot people in the streets of Hedingham neighborhood, then fled in the direction of the News River Greenway Trail, where he continued shooting. The victims are identified as his brother, who was 16 years old, Gabrielle Torres, 29, Mary Marshall, 34, Susan Carnatz, 49, and Nicole Connors, 53. Torres, a Raleigh police officer, was on his way to work when he was shot. Patterson said the crime scene spanned 2 miles and the investigation is ongoing. Authorities have not said what type of weapon the shooter used. A 911 caller said he was dressed in camouflage and carrying a long gun and a backpack. Some people suspect it might be shotgun. Yes, other than his brother, he killed, I think, not all women, and now he is in critical condition. 15 years old. When you say no apparent motive as of now, this guy just said that and then left. That's crazy. Holy shit, dude. We don't know if he shot himself, and we do not know if the police shot him.
We expect to learn more about the victims killed, the wounded, and the suspected shooter at a news conference this morning. Tony?
Governor Roy Cooper called it the nightmare of every community. Elise, thank you very much. And we turn to an update.
Okay, I'm not going to cover the Parkland families. Oh, fuck. Ow, sneeze hurt my neck. I really hope I didn't twist it again. I'm not going to cover the Parkland parents again. We already did that. I will look at Why There's No Such Thing as a Good Billionaire by a friend of the show, Adam Conover. But here's more details. Actually, I don't even know if there's any more details, but a handgun and a long gun were recovered after the shooting. That's all they're saying. They're not saying if it's an AR-15 or a shotgun. And the suspect carried a camouflage backpack, according to a source with the knowledge over the investigation. One of the victims was an off-duty Raleigh police officer, Gabriel Torres, who was on his way to work. Mass shooting came one day after 2 police officers were killed and another seriously wounded. Enough, President Joe Biden said in a statement Friday, we've grieved and prayed with too many families who have had to bear the terrible burden of these mass shootings. The president added, we must pass an assault weapons ban. The American people support this common sense action to get the weapons off these streets. And everyone went back to their usual, back to daily programming. Officials have few details about what happened in the quiet middle-class Raleigh neighborhood, but said the crime scene extended over 2 miles. We already covered that. Carnitz's husband, Tom, called her wife a loving wife and mother to 3 sons, ages 10, 13, and 14. We will miss her greatly. We've had plans together for growing old, always together. Now those plans are laid to waste. That's so my dad was friends with the victim, Nicole Connors. Sorry to hear that. Sorry for your loss. Christine Hines said she was having yard work done at her home Thursday afternoon when a gunfire erupted. Sirens blared. An officer yelled at her to get back in the house when she went to close the patio door. I want to leave the area, and then I have to consider that there's really no perfect place, Hines said. As soon as this is as close as I've seen, but I'm not sure if I want to stay. Hines recalled seeing Sue Carnitz earlier Thursday. They walk their dogs, but at the same time each day on opposite sides of the street because the pets don't get along. Knowing her neighbor is gone, Hines said, feels like her heart had been pierced. Of the teen suspects, Hines lamented life hasn't even begun for him. An officer in an unmarked car told him there was an active shooter. They locked themselves in their bedroom. House passes a bill to create Amber Alert-like system for active shooting situations. 168 Republicans and 1 Democrat voted against it. What leads you to do that? Like, I don't even understand. Like, what the f*** is happening? Republicans were less unified in their vote, 43 voting in favor, 168 voting against it. During a debate over the bill, Representative Matt Gaetz, a Republican from Florida, said an active shooter system alert designed to make people hate their Second Amendment rights. The Independent reported. Oh my God. There is no fucking way, dog. There is no fucking way, dude. Dude, America is so... I didn't even know this. Yo, America is insane, bro. Why do Democrats want to use the power of the government to bombard your cell phone with active shooter alerts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? He's admitting that it happens all the time. This goes beyond treating mass shootings like a naturally occurring phenomena, which Americans do, right? They do it all the time. But this goes even beyond that. Like even for like naturally occurring phenomena, at least you got like defense systems in place. You got like this level of offering people the information to defend themselves. Like at least you get tornado warnings because there's no fucking tornado lobby. If someone was making money off the tornadoes, and I don't mean like people like Reed Timmer, friend of the show, you bet your fucking ass these guys would be running around. We should not be letting people be afraid of tornadoes. We should be to make sure that nobody knows about tornadoes. We should be embracing them. Representative David Cicilline, a Democrat from Rhode Island, helped introduce the bill in February during National Police Week in May. Law enforcement often has to rely on social media to communicate active shooter threats. Jonathan Thompson, the executive director and the CEO of the National Sheriff's Association, approved the bill. Having the capacity to send immediate active shooter alerts to the community will be instrumental in reducing risk to schools. And 11 police organizations gave the bill their stamp of approval. And we still, dude, that's nuts. Republicans are so wild, dude. The mayor emphasized the widespread gun violence must be stopped. We have work to do, but there are too many victims. We have to wake up. I don't want other mayors standing here at the podium with their hearts breaking because people in their community died today needlessly and tragically. 531 mass shootings this year. Honestly, even gun control to a certain degree is like beneficial for the police force.